When Clara received the email from Mirror House Experiences, she assumed it was spam. Spend one night in the reflection room, 5,000 if you last until dawn. It sounded like one of those online urban legend things. But money was tight. Her roommate had just moved out, rent was overdue, and 5 grand meant safety. For a little while. The address led her to an old building in the warehouse district. The place was silent, dark, too quiet for a city. A man in a gray suit and mirrored sunglasses met her at the door. He handed her a key, a bottle of water, and said just one thing. No matter what you see, do not speak to your reflection. The reflection room was clean and simple, walls paneled entirely in mirrors. Even the floor was a dark, polished glass. A single bed, no windows, no camera. Just Clara and her reflection, multiplied into infinite copies. The door locked behind her with a heavy click. She stared at herself for a moment. Dozens of Claras stared back. At first, it was boring. She laid on the bed, scrolled through her phone. But after midnight, the reflections started to lag. She turned her head. In the mirrors, her reflections were just a second behind. She blinked. They didn't. Clara sat up straight. What the hell? One of the reflections, directly across from her, smiling. Clara wasn't. Behind the glass, she stood, moved toward the smiling reflection. Her own face stared back in all other mirrors, normal, blank, confused. But the one ahead, it smiled wider. Not human wide, too wide. Then it raised a hand, slowly, and pressed a single finger against the mirror. Clara didn't move, but the thing in the glass did. It beckoned. She backed away, heart pounding, until her heel hit the bed frame. She grabbed her phone, no service. She tried the door, locked. She shouted, banged, screamed, no answer. When she looked back, all the mirrors were empty. Her reflections were gone. Before you talked to it. The whisper came at 3:17 a.m., soft, wet, close. Why won't you talk to me, Clara? She whirled around, nothing, just endless glass. But now, shapes began to move behind the mirrors. Fast, twitching things, crawling just beneath the surface. She covered her ears, whispering grew louder. You talked to it, didn't you? She saw herself again, but not quite. The reflection looked pale, hollow-eyed, like it hadn't slept in weeks. Her hair was falling out in clumps. Her mouth was moving, whispering something she couldn't hear. Then the reflection looked up, met Clara's eyes. It wasn't copying her anymore. It smiled again and said, through cracked, bleeding lips, I'm so hungry, let me wear you. Break the mirror. Clara couldn't take it. She picked up the water bottle and hurled it at the nearest mirror. It shattered. Silence. She stared at the broken glass, heart racing, waiting for something to come out. But nothing did. She laughed, hysterical relief. Maybe she'd ended it. Until she looked down. The mirror had broken, but there was no wall behind it. Only a corridor, narrow, black, lined with more mirrors. She felt something shift behind her, cold breath on her neck. Then came the voice from just behind her ear. Thank you for opening the way. No exit. They found Clara's body the next morning, except it wasn't quite Clara. She looked the same. Same clothes, same face, but her eyes were wrong, cloudy, as if someone was wearing her like a skin. The Mirror House building had vanished. No one could find it again. But now, sometimes, when people are alone at night, standing in front of their mirrors, brushing their teeth, fixing their hair, they notice something strange. Their reflection is just a little too slow, and if they stare long enough, they see it smile. The end, or the beginning, depending on which side of the glass you're on.